morning, ladybugs. I'm going to get in the right space here so you guys can see me. And happy Wednesday and happy birthday to our ladybug friend Emmy. Emmy is 5 today. It's so exciting. All right, so today we're going to do kind of a math art thing. We're combining a lot of different subjects into one. So we have been learning about different kinds of artists, and also I want to talk about some shapes, okay? Because when artists paint pictures and make art, they definitely use a lot of shapes in their paintings. So today we're going to talk about 3D shapes, and I'm hoping that everybody can see this if I put it up here. So I made some pictures. And let me see if I have my pointer. Now I can't find it. Let's see, let me get it. I think it's, no, it's, here it is. There we go. All right, so for our 3D shapes here, 3D means three-dimensional shapes. Okay, let me get my notes here. Why do we call them 3D shapes? Because they're not flat. So a lot of our shapes that we look at when we draw them, they're flat, right? We don't have sides to them. Like when we're practicing our rectangles and triangles and circles, and I made that a sphere, and squares, we are practicing them flat, okay? We don't give them dimensions, right? So 3D just means three-dimensional shapes, and it means they're not flat, okay? So a lot of artists like to use three-dimensional shapes because they think it makes the picture more interesting. Some artists just use the regular front view or back view of something. Anyway, let's go over these because these are a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite things to learn about. So this shape here is called a rectangular prism. I'm going to hold it up just a little bit for a minute so you guys can see. This shape here is called a cone, and we know what a cone is because we play with them outside, and we've seen cones. Well, we have an ice cream cone, don't we? That's definitely a three-dimensional shape. A cylinder, that's a cylinder right there. You might see them as a barrel of something. Actually, I'm thinking a barrel of, it could be anything in the barrel. Could be oil or wine barrel. That's the only thing that comes to mind right now. The sphere, which I didn't draw, but I'm going to show you the 3D shapes because I have them in blocks. But it is circle, but it's a full circle. It's kind of hard to draw that one. Oh, we know what this shape is. It's a pyramid, right? And we like to build pyramids. Some of you have gone to the museum down in San Jose, the Egyptian museum that they tell you all about the pyramids, and we listen to the magic treehouse story where Jack and Annie went into the pyramids, right? And then we have cubes, okay? So these are all 3D, three-dimensional shapes. I'm going to put this board away so I can show you in person what they are like, okay? And not just on a board, because that's a lot more interesting. It's a lot more interesting to see them on person. So let's see. Here I have a square, right? But this is actually a cube. Do you see? It's 3 dimensions. It has sides. It's not just flat. If I was just going to get a square block, it would look like this, right? But a 3-dimensional square has all the sides to it, and it's much heavier actually. Okay, so this goes with this, but this is a 3D shape. Oh, and I have a little 3D blue blocks that sometimes we play with. Let's see here. Here we have our pyramid shape, which looks like a what? A triangle. Although, if you put it this way, it's a square, right? But here are some pyramid shapes. This is like a foam block, and this is a heavy block. Okay, and you can see, this is a little different, but you can see that triangle in there. Oh, but if I turn it this way, it looks like what? It looks like a square, right? And that's so it can rest on there. Okay, here is my cone, and it kind of looks like a hat, doesn't it? I could put it on my head and see if I could wear it like a birthday party hat. Let's look at our cone and look what's on the bottom. What shape do you see there? A circle, right? That's a fun shape. Let's see. Here's some more cubes here. This one is a little bit more of a rectangular cube, but this is definitely a cube. Oh, and here's another cube. It's a little bit. Actually, I should have looked up the name for this one, but I didn't, but because it was kind of hidden in the blocks there, because it is a rectangular cube, whereas this is a square three-dimensional cube, right? All right, so now, oh, here's our cylinders. Aren't those cool? Do they look like a barrel or something? And look what shape we have on either side. We have our circle. Now this is a little bit three-dimensional because it's a thin circle. But like if I was just going to draw a circle, it would just be flat, right? It would not be 3D. Okay, so here's our cylinder. We have that shape. And then we have our sphere, which is a kind of a funny word to say. Sphere. It's not spear. Kind of sounds like spear, but this is called sphere. And this is this shape, and it looks like what? What does that look like? It looks like a ball, right? Like a ball that you might play with, and it's round, it rolls. What else does it remind you of? Something that we all live on. Can you guess? Yeah, our planet, or actually all the planets are spheres. And this is a really cool shape. And this is a kind of a heavy ball. We'll play with that a little bit later, okay? I'll make it so it doesn't roll off the table here. Okay, and then this one, this is half a sphere. Do you see? It's like they cut the earth in half. Or maybe it could be an orange or an apple or something like that. They cut it in half, and it's called a hemisphere. I did look that one up. A hemisphere. So if you took the earth and you just sliced it right in half, that's what it would look like. And I actually have one in like a foam shape, a hemisphere. And then they're not quite right, but you could put them together and you could make a hole. Actually, I could put a little face on there, and it looks like a little person, doesn't it? So that's a hemisphere. And then here, let's see. Oh, the rectangular prism. Now I don't have a big block like that, but I do have a rectangular prism. And see, there it is. It's a 3D, 3 dimensions, right? Because it has all of its sides. It's not just a flat. It's just not a flat rectangle, right? Like I drew here. It has 3 dimensions. Oh, but if I turn it over, what shape do I have there? I have a square, right? So you can have a lot of fun trying to find 3-dimensional shapes all around you. And while we're looking at art this week and next week, you can see, some of you yesterday at our meeting seemed to have some really cool paintings in your house, or you even made them, or art books, books with pictures in them, and you can look for 3-dimensional shapes, okay? But there's a lot of other things you can do with the three-dimensional shapes. So if you remember, I had a big thing of blocks last week when we were playing blockhead. And one thing when I was doing it is I didn't want to, there were certain shapes. Remember I said, oh, that, I don't want to use that shape right here because would I be able to stack something on there? Well, nope, it doesn't work. So I wanted to make a tall block. I wanted to make a tall tower. And so I had to be careful of what, nope, that one didn't work either. I wanted really flat ones. Let's try that one. Do you think that will work? Nope, it would not work. So you can maybe get, if you have some blocks or different things, you could stack the shapes and see which ones stack the best, okay? We have found out last week that the rectangle and the square blocks, they seem to stack the best. The tall cylinder blocks, they can stack because you can turn them this way and then the blocks don't fall off it. What if I turned it this way though? Would they? Nope, that's not going to stay on there. But a tall cylinder works. I have 2 tall cylinders and I have a short cylinder here. It worked. Okay. So you can do a lot of things with the 3-dimensional shapes. You can stack the blocks and see which ones stack and why they don't, okay? You could draw a picture. You draw a picture, a shape picture of all the shapes that you know how to draw. And you know how to draw a triangle and a rectangle and a square. And I said a sphere here, but you could call your circle a sphere. That would be fun. You could also go on a shape hunt around your house and your yard and see how many shapes you can find, and then see if you can sort them. You can put I can put all my cylinders together. I can put all my squares together. Okay, I can sort them. I can put all my spheres together. If you have a tennis ball, that's a sphere, okay? Or a ball. Or if you have a cone shape, you can get all your cones and put them in there. Well, there's also one other thing I was thinking you could do. And I know a lot of you, when I went back to school last week, I got some of our big blocks. I'm not sure if you have any of those. But a lot of you like to make, we do have the car ramps at school, but you like to make ramps with the big blocks. But if you don't have big blocks at home, you could make, wow, that's loud. You could make a ramp with a box. Just a simple box like this. I'm going to scoot back a little bit so that everybody can see, hopefully. And I have my chair here and I have a box, okay? So I just put my flat box. What shape is this box? It's a rectangle, right? I also have other boxes. I have like a square box and a rectangle box. And then this is like a cylinder, right? Looks just like this, only it doesn't have, this is solid inside and this is just hollow. And I can see all of you there. Okay, so look around and see what kind of boxes you have and what shapes they are. And then you could make something, you could have like a shape race. Okay, so I'm going to keep it there. Let's see what shapes roll down the ramp faster, the fastest, okay? So let's try our little square block, okay? All right, ready? See if you can roll down. Oh, not very smooth. Maybe the foam one would work better. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, how about the cylinder block? Do you think that's going to roll down the ramp fast? Let's test it. Wow, that's really far. That went really far. Why did the cylinder block roll so much faster than our square? Does anybody know why? Well, it's because it's a round. It's got round edges, right? It goes around all the way. Whereas the square has sides, right? Let's test the big wood cylinder. Okay, let's see. It's kind of hard to see because it's kind of the same color. Whoa, that's really fast. Let's see. Should we have a race with the big cylinder and the little cylinder? This is going to be hard, but I think I can do it. Ready, set, go. Oh, I don't know. I think that was a tie. How about the two cones? Do you think they're going to go very fast down the ramp? The wood cone and the yellow cone? Actually, this is a pyramid, huh? Let's do I don't have a wood cone. Let's do this pyramid and this pyramid, okay? Now this is kind of lighter, but do they have any round? Are they any round edges? No, it's pretty pointy. Let's see how well they roll down. No, they don't really roll. They just kind of slide down. Let's see. Well, let's do our sphere. Do you think that's going to go fast? I think it is, right? Because it's so round. Ready, set, race. Whoa, I can't even reach that now. It went way under my TV, which is behind you. So you could find your shapes around the house, maybe something that's like not breakable, and or if you have some blocks, you could roll these down. I see this block right here. I think I showed you this last week when we were playing the game. Somebody carved out part of it. I'm not sure why. But this is a round block, so I think it's going to go pretty fast here. Ready, set, let's see. Whoa, yeah, the round blocks definitely go faster. So if I wanted to be in a race with somebody, I would be a round shape. I would maybe curl myself in a little ball, and I would roll along so that I could win, right? Win the race. But you could also use this ramp for cars. Okay, I have my cars that we used the other day when we were making our big action word crash, when we were thinking about doing our Roy Lichtenstein picture. So you could use your ramp, right? And you could have a car race on your ramp. Or if you had some big blocks that you could stack the blocks against something, and you could race your car down the ramp that way. Okay, so let's see. Let's do one last little race here. And this is not really with the shapes, but it's kind of fun. Which car do you think is going to win the race? The green and tiger striped, it looks like it has a paw on it. Maybe it's like a jungle truck, or this looks like Lightning McQueen, the red Lightning McQueen. So which one do you think is going to win when I go down my ramp? Let's see. I'll try to do it at the same time, okay? Pick somebody. It's not going to be a very long race. Ready, set, go. Oh, the jungle truck won. I think because it was a little lighter. This one's a little heavier. Okay, so I hope you had fun learning about our shapes. I'm going to hold this up one more time so that everybody can see the fun shapes. And you could draw the shapes. You could even try to draw the back of them. It's a little tricky. It took me a few years to learn how to do that, but you can at least draw the shapes and have fun with that. And then go around your house and see what kind of shapes you can find. I bet you have a lot of 3D shapes around there, because most everything we have around our house is three-dimensional, right? We don't have a lot of flat things unless it's just a piece of paper or something, right? We have our things around our house are all three-dimensional shapes, and I hope you learned something about that. And then tomorrow we will talk a little bit about Frida Kahlo and maybe learn a little bit about her and do a little picture if we want. There's a couple different ways we can do that. Okay, ladybugs, I will see you later. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye. I'm going to go around this way to turn off the video. Okay?